Hello, my name's Michael Conneely, and this is a video about weak sun. The sun has entered the Vedic sign of Libra today, the 17th of October 2017. Sun is in his greatest sign of debilitation in Libra. And what does this mean? But also we'll be talking about what does it mean to have weak sun in your birth chart. Now this applies to people with sun in Libra, Vedic Libra that is, but also people who have sun that's weak in other ways, for example in the Gandanta zones, the transition points from water signs to fire signs, there's 3 of those in Vedic astrology. And if the sun is damaged by proximity to another planet or aspect from another planet that harms or drains the sun. So, what does it mean to have weak sun in the heavens now, or weak sun in your birth chart? Now I'm speaking to you from our healing centre in the far west of Ireland near the Atlantic coast of County Sligo. But I do many worldwide readings online and also many powerful astrology courses. For example, my Vedic astrology courses focus on 2 charts, yours and mine. So they're completely individual, caring, and in this way completely authentic in the conclusions we come to. And one of the things you might want to do is have a reading or study my course if you feel that this weak sun theme applies to you. And all my readings and all my courses are attuned to healing and empowerment. They aren't in any way the formulaic ranting that can undo astrology. They're powerful and accurate. And where an issue is identified, always it's from the point of view of saying, well, you incarnated to heal this. Think what can happen if you use empowerment techniques. So what will the whole world experience during the month starting today when the sun is in the Vedic sign of Libra using the Vedic sidereal zodiac? Well, lack of confidence. A debilitated sun is so lacking in confidence. The true sun is the king of his kingdom. He goes forth and does what has to be done for his kingdom. He is able to assess the needs of his kingdom, and he's able to powerfully state his truth and rule his kingdom. But a weak sun lacks confidence. And this applies if you have a weak sun in your birth chart. And so you might not have the confidence to speak your truth. So you could become inauthentic. You could not be able to speak the truth. You could be even cut off from it. And that could be insincere. But of course what you're trying to do is be diplomatic. Usually the cause is that you just simply were not valued in childhood for who you are. You had to fit into some family script. You had a weak father, an ill father, or no father. Because father is there to set the example of the divine sun. The sun is indicator for father in the Vedic birth chart, amongst other things. Also, one's egoic self. The 2 are linked. So you might not have confidence, you might lose confidence easily. You might feel, I can't cope. You might feel beaten. You might feel you have weaker physical vitality in this coming month. You might feel drained. So all this month, the whole world is touched by the energy of weak sun. And of course that makes it even more difficult for people who have weak sun in their birth chart. So what should you do if you are touched by the weak sun energy this coming month? Well, don't push too hard. Make extra effort to cultivate connection to your body and feelings. Eat properly and do some physical activity so as to be in your body and achieve something, and stick to these guidelines. This way you'll uplift and strengthen your physical being, your emotional self. This perception alone is so useful. It's so useful to sort of recognize these symptoms and signs if they're coming up. But you can do more than that. You can actually work to heal them. In my, for example, my Druid Forest School course, where I work with, amongst other things, the gods and goddesses of the ancient Irish and the Celtic peoples, there are wonderful gods and goddesses who we can create vision relationship to and work with to strengthen our own divine sun, our own sense of king or queen. And so, common across northwestern Europe down to Roman times, there was Cernunnos, the horned god. And in ancient Ireland, especially revered, literally around here where I'm talking to you, was the good god, the Dagda, with his cauldron of plenty. And of course, for women, the great goddess Bridget, who was patron of fire and the rise of creation that can be fire, and the rise of creation that can be water, patron of poetry and smithcraft. Just to look into the eyes of Bridget can be such a challenge and such a strength. But also there are healing techniques, and if appropriate, you could look into these. So if you look at my partner Maggie Pashley's website, www.maggiepashley.com, that's MAGGIEPASHLEY.com, there are many worldwide healing modalities. For example, there's emotional freedom technique where you tap on the acupressure points whilst voicing an appropriate sentiment. And that can be so healing, so transforming. There's body code and emotion code where the healer muscle tests to find, identify and remove bodily held distress, even working out when it was implanted and what it was. There's access consciousness, which is use of points on the head to release held negativity. There's so very many healing techniques that you can specifically do for various needed tasks, including healing a weak sun, healing a weak sense of self. And throughout October, November, the position of the sun is in some ways made worse in the heavens because the sun, as I said, is in Vedic Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. And until the 2nd of November, Venus is in Vedic Virgo, Venus' sign of debilitation. So, there are all sorts of other issues that could apply, and there are various plus factors potentially around. But I did feel it was worth making this video to offer the perception so that if you recognise the symptoms of weak sun in the month starting today, the 17th of October, do something about it. Upgrade your perception. Heal what you perceive. And indeed, if you feel you have symptoms of weak sun in your birth chart, Well, the whole purpose of astrology is, or ought to be, perfect perception of that issue so that you can do something about it through healing and through empowerment. So I look forward to hearing from you. Get in touch for a reading or enroll on my wonderful, authentic, powerful, caring course where Vedic astrology offers crossover to Western astrology if that's what you want, and vice versa. So my readings website is www.starwheelastrology.com and my Vedic astrology course website is www.mastervedicastrology.com. And so, from the west of Ireland, indeed on the day after Hurricane Ophelia struck, literally here, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.